pleasant morning to each and everyone. I'm Lani Julisandra and I'm here to discuss and introduce to you about globalization and its impact on communication. Firstly, I will discuss to you what is the definition of globalization. So, globalization is a term used to describe the increasing connectedness and interdependence of world cultures and economies. Globalization is the word used to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and populations, brought about by cross-border trade in the goods and services, technology, and flows of investments, people, and information. Globalization is the process by which businesses or other organizations develop international influence or start operating on an international scale. The founder of globalization is Theodore Levitt is often credited with popularizing the term and bringing it into the mainstream business audience in the middle of 1980s. Many scholars say that globalization started with Columbus' voyage to the New World in 1492. First globalization is a phrase used by economists to describe the world's first major period of globalization of trade and finance, which took place between 1870 and 1914. The second globalization began in 1944 and ended in 1971. This led to the third era of globalization, which began in 1989 and continues today. Globalization has its own types as well. First is economic globalization. Constantly influencing each other, these markets are somewhat interdependent than independent. And next is social globalization, is the integration of societies of the world. Next is political globalization. Political globalization refers to the ripple effects and continuity of political relationships between countries. Next is technological globalization. The spread of technology has put globalization on autopilot. Technology influenced business, marketing, talent acquisition, supply chain, and data management. And lastly is the environmental globalization. Environmental globalization is simply the consequence of all the after effects of other types of globalization. In conclusion to that, adopting globalization increases free trading opportunities between countries. This allows businesses, organizations in developed countries to invest in developing countries. As the communication between the countries becomes open, sharing of information became easier due to globalization. This has also contributed to the increase in speed of transportation of products. Countries joining together through globalization will remove the cultural barriers and make the world a global village. Globalization makes the countries adopt the factors that are beneficial in the long run. There is also a possibility of less war between developed countries due to globalization. So these are some of insights about globalization. So now I'm going to tackle the impact of globalization on communication. Communication is simply the act of transferring information from one place, person, or a group to another. The importance of communication in globalization, it is because individuals from different countries, ethnicities, languages, cultural attitudes, and other variations must understand one another and express themselves to another effectively in order to work together. With the help of globalization and communication, everyone can understand each other even you have different cultures and in different nations. Through globalization, the dissemination of information and ideas can now easily access. Businesses can be more competitive by connecting to other countries through communication. And also, it leads us to be more connected with other people with different cultures, religion, and ethnicity. Globalization has helped people communicate better with each other and discover new things, as well as people learn new culture and heritage, and a sense of unity is developed. However, globalization also affects languages both positively and negatively. The negative effects include the loss of minority languages as majority languages becomes normative, and a decrease in grammatical skills as communicators by the use of internet shorthand and abbreviations. In this discussion, we learn what is globalization is all about and also its impact on communication.